Koe te arapuru, SOUNZ.
The stamping tube is an instrument with one interesting story. I termed it the one sound producing instrument with a day job and a side hustle. In the course of our search, you'll hear and see different names based on each island and their mother tongues. But what will be unmistaken is her unique sound, bassy, solid, earthy, home. In the land of Fiji, the instrument's original appearance is far from what we know it today as.
The rua, the mbitu, is connected to old cooking. The bamboo that is used for cooking in the olden days is wider. It has more liquid in it, more water. And when it is when the segments are cut, you can stuff in the dalo leaves and the prawns and whatever, and then close it again and then put it over charcoals and turn it around. But the stuffing, and that's the culinary dish that's reserved for the nobility. But when they stuff it, it's not stuffed casually. They're always sitting on the grass, on the ground, and they're stuffing it and they're singing. They sing. They sing a simple chant, a rhyming couplet, as they're stamping it. And when you're eating, you're not just eating a dish, you're eating blessings. Audio and culinary, ensuring that what goes to their young chief is not only tasty, but sounds delicious, yes. Imagine that combination. First of all, the land is sung upon so that it is in harmony, and when it is brought again, it is reharmonized. And basically it can be seen as a musical instrument, but it was not done. The music or the rhythm was a means to an end to ensure it goes to its destination total, holistic.
For Tonga, the focus is not only on the retracing of its origin story, but its function. After all, it has not been seen in quite some time.
Let me say this first. Tukipitu is already in extinction. We don't practice it in Tonga or anywhere. There are only two Tukipitu still in existence. One in Dublin, I believe, and the other one somewhere else. And I managed to revive it myself. There's none in Tonga. They stopped practicing it for centuries now.
Every time we follow an instrument, we always try to find as much as we can of its purpose, whether there are any stories of why it exists, and then how else it evolved and reutilized. Through it, we've uncovered some amazing stories, funny stories, and some sad ones. I believe in an unknowing way, we, the peoples of the Moana Pacific, are responsible for some of the instrument's current status. We are very hospitable people. We gift items to people. Sometimes may have been a volunteer teacher or a missionary heading back to their Western home at the end of a tour, for instance. Like Fiji, the Samoan story of its stamping tubes has a functional beginning. Now, whilst the nderua started off a cooking utensil, in Samoa, it's fishing.
Ore kui ipu le whai ipu.
Ngakau.
Ore aururu. Usala e ko'u I lalo le sami. Ngā ka kangoro le aruru. Po o whea lai ka aile. E whaalongoro le leo lea. Sauroa.
For sharks, it's the ofe or bamboo. Once the fisherman is in position, he then starts stomping the bottom of his paupau or canoe with the instrument. The vibration that causes attracts the sharks. in the same manner that the aululu attracts the fish.
Kai pe o saunga me kua lo lengo fai ko i le leo. Fai ngau le leo. Usa sau oi le mali. O le saunga la mali. E ka ke se lea I loa ko kongo le va.
The stomping motion also gives the instrument another name, tuitui. This means knock, punch, or stomp.
Usa le o fea ka ue fai e le fai e mea ngā ka kou. Le e le sko ngā mea fai e kui fa pea. Le kui e kanga ka pea usu le pese. Pea usu pea whaalangi le pese.
For Tonga, exploring the stamping tube in its entirety required a visit to the past.
There is a sketch, a drawing of John Webber, Captain Cook's artist. I believe it's their last voyage to Tonga, 1777. That drawing says it all, that the performers, they split in half. And the singers or the musicians were all sitting in a circle right in the middle. And tukipitu, players, was amongst the musicians. According to the document, there were Nafa there, Loli as well. So those tukipitu, I believe that they are the bass. And they keep the rhythm of the dance, if you like. Don't forget that this is already disappeared. I'm still trying to scratch the surface here, because maybe there were other use in the past. To tune it, cut them to different sizes. If you have 4 or 5, cut them all the same. Then if you want to tune it to form up one set, cut them all the same, and you use the longest. If you're happy with that sound, then you start to cut the other 3 to harmonize and go with the longest one. Because you see, you don't start from the shortest. You start from the longest, and then you keep cutting it down a little bit at a time until your ear is happy with the sound.
As we continue to navigate our people's relevancy into the ever-present future with all that is required for a good, culturally connected life, it is up to us to make room for all our customs that were pushed aside out of ignorance by outside forces and realign their correct functions other than what the scribes said. After all, whilst their publications were based on observations, our revival is from lived experiences.
Toi te ara pūru, SOUNZ.